I'll clap. Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. On today's podcast, I have my very dearest friend of mine, Edwin. If you guys don't know who he is, he will literally give you guys a quick breakdown of who he is. Come on, Edwin, give us a quick breakdown.
Owner of Secret Sneaker Store.
That's it?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
That's all you're going to do?
Okay. I'll do the one that I did for the Alibaba conference. Hi, I'm Ed, owner of Secret Sneaker Store. We are a consignment store, help people sell sneakers and apparel. Basically, we are a marketplace, and we've been around for 2.5 years.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, well, on a better note, he grosses $1 million a month. Yeah?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So a $12 million business. You have 3 stores.
Yep. Melbourne Central, Chadstone, and Westfield, Sydney.
So I've had you on the podcast before, right? And
Yep.
I had this drive here, and I was like, oh, I'm meeting up with Edwin, and I got this great idea for a podcast because I was like, you know what? We have 2 different views on how we run businesses.
Yeah.
Because I run very online, social media based online marketing. I do have a in-store sort of presence for sneaker laundry, but for me it's not my main bread and butter at all. So I want to ask you why, for one, why do you believe in foot traffic? Why do you believe in a hard retail store, and do you believe that it's the better option?
Right. Okay, cool. So I guess for me, the reason why we opened a retail store, it was to get into the minds of people first, right? So when you talk about brand awareness as well as being there first, people, I guess in terms of marketing, it's really important to be known as the first. And the reason why is because people generally have these slots in their brain for each category. So like, for example, like sneaker cleaning, everyone knows about sneaker laundry. There we go. Sneaker laundry has taken that spot in the brain.
Definitely.
And then it's very hard to change people's minds. I mean, have you tried changing someone's mind? Like, it's really hard. So we opened a retail store in order to get into people's brains faster, I guess, as the sneaker place to go to. And it definitely has its trade-offs. I mean, if we look at the online businesses like yours, I do admire it a lot. I mean, it's definitely easier. There's less complications. And in terms of the talk of people shoppers going online nowadays, that's like, it's very common. It's like, it's all going online. Culture Kings people are saying it's going online. Shopping center people are saying it's going online. We're seeing it going online. David Jones, all the articles, really, you see them, that people are shifting online. But I guess at the current state, though, it's still a large proportion of sales is still in store. So there will be a time where it will tip over, I guess, when it's just not worth it anymore. But at the moment, a lot of our sales are still in store.
Do you believe it's just in a Western cultural world that retail now, I wouldn't say it's dead, but I would say it's irrelevant to shopping now? Because if you go to places like Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, any of that, retail stores don't open until 12 midday, and then they literally close at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And the trading hours are very dedicated to retail in-store experiences. So do you believe it's just the Western world that we're suffering from retail deadness?
I think in terms of first thing is the opening times, right? I do feel that the opening times is just a lag of a response.
Because there's no point opening at 9 a.m. I really don't see the point.
If you go to Chadstone, there's really no point being there at 9 a.m. Like literally it would be just standing there and cleaning the store and waiting for the next thing to happen, right? So, and doing online orders. But it's definitely not as good as opening later. Like I would prefer to open later, but I think it's mainly a lag of a shift in response to the customers. I feel that it's maybe the shopping center thing where, shopping centers, we've always opened for this long. We've always opened at 9. And I feel like traditionally that's how it was, but then now it's a bit different. If we can change, we would.
Okay, good. I thought your laptop died.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so do you believe as well? Okay, so in the, I'll call it the Southeastern Asia, we definitely believe in smell experience, the walkthrough experience, what the store layout is, down to what's on the floor, down to what's on the walls. Do you believe that in the Western culture world now, we're slowly starting to adapt to it, but it's not to that point as of yet? Because I'll give a good example. The Undefeated store in Japan, in Harajuku, it's very dark, it's very gloomy. It has the feel of their store. It has a particular smell to it.
Correct,
even the Babe store in Japan has a smell. Like you walk in it, you're like,
it's like a signature sensory, almost like a sensory trigger, like triggers your brain.
Correct. So do you believe now that we don't have that here yet?
Yeah, it's not as strong. I do know there are quite a few stores in Australia that do it, but not the major ones in the shopping centers. Like, for example, Supply Store. Yeah,
like the Supply Store in Melbourne right now, they always burn incense. The Supply Store in Sydney as well, when you walk in, it smells like...
You can see the incense sticking out of the wall. It's pretty
cool.
So
it's actually really, really cool. They've taken the Japanese approach to it, I believe. Do you believe that Secret Sneaker Store one day will become that?
Yeah, 100%. I do think like that's as it becomes more and more competitive, and I have to step up my game, and I already do. And it's good. Like, it pushes us forward. I do think that we have to do it eventually in the future, but I feel that maybe it's because either we're slow, we're lazy. It just hasn't happened yet. I do feel that a lot of the time in Australian retail, it just lags behind Hong Kong and America and Japan by a year and a half. So whatever's hot in America or Hong Kong or Japan at the moment, just wait a year and a bit. It was like Montclair. It was like Montclair.
Yeah.
Montclair. It was really popular at one point, and we were like, okay, cool, it's just gonna happen soon, and then bang, it did. So
it's like Stone Island. Stone Island's hot now, and Stone Island's been hot for like 10 years. Like Stone Island's been around for God knows how long. So the second question I have is that so currently I'm running a pop-up that's going to be October 7th and 8th at Secret Sneaker Store, Melbourne Central. We were literally just planning on how it would look like, and I was very, very, very against making it look like a pop-up. So I was very into the look of it needs to be a store within a store, so people have an experience. The cheese good, the customer, how they walk in and out and stuff like that. What preparations did you do when you were building your store to make it flow? Because a lot of people don't understand that a store, when someone walks in, like for example, Safeway has all the chocolates and stuff at the front because it's easy to grab items. Like, how did you lay your store out, and why did you do it that way? Okay,
cool. So I guess the most important thing is being able to see from standing in front of the store, you can see the whole layout of the store. It's almost like an openness, which allows for I guess an idea of transparency. It's kind of like, because we want to be legit. We're
not hiding anything.
We're not hiding anything. Nothing's dark. Everything's like well lit. So that's one of the things that we try to achieve. Obviously, there are certain times when there has to be a pillar in the middle of your store. You can't do anything about that. Although we try to implement that throughout all our stores. So an open doorway, very, very. I guess it's just a very spacious entrance. And then the second thing that we do is we use the sales data, saying what sells best, ranging from first to last, and we would kind of put it in order of what sells best. So Supreme is always the first thing you'll see when you come to our store, and then it just kind of goes as per whatever the sales ranking is. And I guess the second thing is making sure that you have a story as to like the journey of what the customer will take. So you kind of like make a loop, and then you kind of want to tell that story, and then you want to put things around that journey around your store.
Do you have anything in your store that is I would say is the very easiest? Like, just say if I walked into your store with $50, what would I be able to purchase, and where would that item be placed?
Stickers. That's all you can buy.
Okay, so where would those stickers be? Those $50 stickers.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I think it's really hard, I guess, like with being a consignment store and having such high market prices for everything. With $50, still it's a decent struggle. But so I think we don't really cater to that customers as much. I think for $50, what you can get with us is a supplementary crepe or some cleaning product. that you can just buy as you are at the counter, or you can buy stickers to get a play at the Keymaster, which I think that's the major motivation for like 80% of the sticker sales.
So 80% of the motivation is sticker sales, right? So just so they can play with the Keymaster.
Yeah.
Do you believe the Keymaster is a drawing card for a retail store? So like, for example, I'm going to say straight up, it's a fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the Keymaster is a gimmick.
You know how it works.
I definitely know. I've spent $1,000 at your store on a Keymaster machine. So I definitely know how it works, all right?
Hey, you won, you mean?
But so... do you feel like retail stores now need that gimmick, need that extra push? Because like I've even seen Tiffany & Co. Sticker up a vending machine and sell perfume out of it. So do you feel like more retail stores need that extra gimmick to pull customers in?
Well, the retail environment is quite tough right now, wherever you go. And there's definitely more and more effort that you need to put in order to get that customer. For us, though, comparing it to the pros and cons to American stores, right? Like we have our American partner. I think he grosses about 1.5K USD a day on the Keymaster. It's just because it's just so easy to put money in, and it's like a cultural thing. It's like, oh yeah, cool, you know. And also they're in Vegas, so maybe it's a gambling thing. They culture, like they're kind of looking forward to win big in anything that seems like gambling. But for us, it's much less. So it draws in some of our customers, although I'm not sure if it's that worth it. So therefore, with Sydney, we have removed our Keymaster from the Sydney store. We've replaced it with the glass case. We still have it in Chadstone and Melbourne, although it is I guess it would be almost like something you would do for your customers. It's not really getting you as much benefit as you'd like to. Although it's just there that you are just putting it there. I don't think it's as beneficial as I would like it to be.
Is a Supreme pinball machine beneficial? Not for
15,000?
Yeah,
What was it? However many thousand it was.
I remember we looked into it.
yeah. However many thousand it was. For me, that would be something that you would do for fun. I feel like as a sneaker person, that would be something you do for fun. I'm not sure if that will generate the same amount of returns. You would hope so. Especially, I think it's there's a gambling law in Australia which makes it a bit harder for you to generate that money in order to pay back your return, the investment that you make on the pinball machine.
There's a store in Toronto that has like Supreme decks all on the ground. Have you seen it? The glass. And
yes.
They've got
It's very, very elaborate. It's a very impressive layout.
And they've got like a Lambo in the back and and all that. So like, do you believe that like retail sooner or later in Australia, someone's gonna have a Lamborghini in the car and in their shop and be like, yo, you can't touch that. Does it really have to get to that point for Australians? I'm definitely talking about just Australians. To play the draw card to get people in, because like I don't leave my house anymore. Like I really don't. Like whenever I need to shop for anything, it's all online. I know where I want my shit. I just paid an extra $10 for it to get shipped expressed.
But a Lambo would be nice to look at, just to put in your garage
But not in your store, right? I don't know. Like,
look. There's a couple things, right? So in terms of, I guess to some degree, I kind of wish I was in America, doing business in America in a more capitalistic country, but obviously there's the downsides. I might die, get shot. Although
I don't endorse that, but alright.
So with us, I feel like in Australia there's a lot of rules. I mean, there's the luxury car tax, and then you got to think about the space that you're using, especially in Sydney. Space is super expensive. So, look, as long as it draws the customers in and you make it work, then that's fine. For us, it will probably draw a lot of attention, although it might draw customers that are just there to look, not really to buy. So I'm not sure if that will be like an investment that I would make.
So like at the end of the day, like what I'm really, really trying to wonder is that, because one day I would love to open up a cocaine retail store, right?
Yeah, and you want to put a Lambo in there, right? Oh, you know what? You could just not frame it, like just attach it to the wall.
But the stupid thing for me, right, is that if I ever open up a cocaine retail store, it would literally just be same like
the same stuff like any other retailer. Like you'd just be that generic.
Like is that what I want? Or like did I purely believed that Sneaker Boy, when Kais Omar shat on Sneaker Boy, I was like, that's the most stupidest thing he could have done. Secondly, I totally believe that Sneaker Boy was was revolutionizing what retail in Australia really is.
Yeah.
Because it was more of a showroom.
Yeah, an experience.
And it was all about the experience and the showroom. Like that's what it was about. It wasn't like I totally understood that. Fuck, you go in, you can't walk
get
out.
Your shoes. Yeah, it doesn't satisfy a degree, like a portion of customers. Yeah.
Right, but do you believe? Is there a space for the market for stuff like that, or is it like because like guys like Catch of the Day, guys like KOKAINE, the big dogs on like electronics and stuff like that now do have stores. Like Catch of the Day has one in Chatston.
Yes, they do have one in Chatston.
So like, do you feel like the importance for customers to actually touch and feel garments now is getting less and less of a thing, or is it still something that people care about?
I think it's not a clear answer. It's like a gray area. So there are still a big portion of people who still want to touch and feel. They're there to enjoy, the experience of going into your world, right? So I guess with the retail store, I mean, if you were going to make it different, like if you want to separate yourself or distinguish yourself from an online store, definitely you have to work on your VM, the sight, smell, touch thing,
the 5 common senses.
And work really well on that for it to be worth it. Otherwise you'll just be another store. I still think it's shifting. Like it's definitely shifting, although it hasn't shifted that much to the degree that it's not worth it to open a store still.
Yeah, because like don't the Australian government we were just literally knocking on the Australian government, right? But it's like Smith Street, Lygon Street, all the major
it's all dead.
Yeah, all the major shopping streets in Melbourne, dead.
Yeah,
dead, absolutely dead.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know why the cost the cost of rent is still so high for something that people are not going to. Yes. Is there going to be a shift like?
Yeah, I reckon it's already shifting. Like it's definitely because there's usually a lag time. It's almost like say you put a shoe up for whatever $1,500, and then you gotta wait to after a certain point in time where you decide like, hey, you know what? I haven't sold this for a while, and so I have to reduce my prices. Yeah, definitely. But it takes time for you to finally decide that hey, this is not working anymore, and you reduce your prices. By then, the customers would have left. That makes sense. So I feel like that's what's happening in terms of like the tenants that say, hey, it's not worth it, and then there will be the owners, the landlords, that will say, hey, you know what, we'll give it like a year, 2 years, couple of years, and see what's actually happening, and they would usually keep their prices, and only when it's after a long enough period of time, then they'll say, hey, it's not working, I got to reduce my rent. But by then it might be a dead shopping strip already. So I feel like that's what's happening. Because like
I remember when Chapel Street used to be like the place to go to.
Yeah, Smith Street. I was always shopping at Smith Street. Like that was like the thing to do on a weekend when you want to buy some
like
shoes.
Nike outlet, the Adidas outlet, Converse outlet.
They're
all there.
On a side note, I never actually bought any steals there. It's always been the same price. Either one, I went at the wrong time, or like I'm just really bad at shopping.
Yeah, see, but like, do you know what I mean?
But yeah, it was booming. Like people were there, people were walking the streets, and now it's just for lease signs. Yeah, it's just for lease signs, graffiti everywhere. It's just tough landscape. Like the shopping landscape's tough now. You just have to. I guess what that means is, like the harder it is. How do I say it? It's almost like. When the environment gets tough, the businesses who are not that good die first.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So what it is the threshold for survival is higher, and so a lot will die. And I guess only the people who are around the middle of the top would still be surviving. And unfortunately, people just shifted to shopping centers. It was just easier, it's more convenient, and the rest, they just perished.
So with you saying that, right? I'm wondering, what have you done to keep your businesses around? Because you've been around for
2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years, nearly 3 now. Yeah. So it's usually businesses don't survive the first year. If you don't survive the first year, you ain't surviving any longer than that. Yeah. Because it's literally just a bottom dip. If you don't make money on the first year, you're just gonna keep going down. Yeah. Like there's no survival after that.
100%.
So. Like with the sneaker laundry, for us, we're lucky because one, rent is cheap. Yeah. Like it's very, very, very cheap for where we're located and where it is and the price we're paying. But for you, you're like nearly 10x what I'm paying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just want to know, like, if you had to give one tip to be like, how do you stay in the retail game?
Right.
what would you be?
In terms of retail game, I'd say, well, for me, the few things that was significant was definitely having control of your product, being able to, I mean, if you can, to sell the products that you are creating, so you have control. You know, it's like when you can react to customers faster, better.
Correct.
You know, you tend to notice that, okay, this product's doing much better, right? This product's selling really well. You can make more of those. Whereas if you were saying, if you're buying you were selling someone else's product and it's out of stock, that, you know, you're stuck. You know, what you're gonna do? You know, you can't make more. So creating your own products, very important. Having that control over the quantities, the features, all that kind of stuff. Just having a fluid product is super important. And in terms of leases, I guess for us, we were pushing quite hard, right? It was kind of like, okay, cool, this store worked, next one, this store worked, next one, and then keep trying. Okay, this one didn't work, we'll close, we'll open another one. For us, like, you know, I think being careful with taking on leases is definitely a big thing. Although that's a gray area, because sometimes if you make the right decision, it goes really well. Whereas if you make the wrong decision, it might not go so well. So yes, well done.
So to end this podcast, if you had to put it in a ranking right now, if you had to turn back time, if you really had to turn back time 2.5 years, 3 years before your no vacancy pop up, would you be like, I want to put all my focus and money into an online store, or would you still do the retail game?
So I think it's not really a clear answer, because it's not a clear answer, because
I remember you said to me that it's hard to change someone's mind. I've tried to change your mind. I've tried. Trust me, guys. All our conversations are all about you should just jump it online. Online's the way to go.
Yeah.
Right,
100%.
But for me, because the online market is forever. It's literally endless. Like there is no one that you cannot touch or grab attention to or whatever, right? So would you focus more online, or would you continue focusing on retail? Because I've noticed now that you're very online motivated now.
Yes.
Right.
Thanks for your tips on Facebook ads and all that.
But
look, sales. Look, look, there, right there.
But what would you do it differently this time around?
If I was starting, so rewind back 3 years, what would I do? I think what I would do is, I think having a physical store footprint is important for our business. I think. Yeah,
definitely, because it shows
like
you.
The sneaker.
Do you know, I don't knock it because I have a store, but it's just it's the footprint of I have the biggest dick.
Yes. Yeah.
It stomps you from your competitors. It literally, because you stomped out 20 competitors before you even before anyone even knew who the hell Secret Sneaker Store was. Like you had those little fuckboys who are selling shit online, trying to make a name for themselves, and you literally go.
Like, it kind of just definitely trumps that, because people can go into the store, they can say I've been there, this is what they have photos, whereas it's harder to take photos of a store. It's not like you screenshot a store. The only time you screenshot an online store is when you want to check if it's legit or not. Like, I mean, it's like,
definitely,
hey guys, have you seen this store? Can we trust it or not? So in terms of going back, like, would I do it again? I would still open a store.
Yep.
I'd say like opening a store in the main areas, in the high visual areas, would be important, just to have that footprint and capturing having a strong stake, I guess, in the country that you'd like to dominate in, and then you would just be online after that. So I would say that I'd probably open whatever the major city is, so like Melbourne, Sydney, and then I would do the rest online. So to answer your question, I would still go retail,
but would you go as hard?
No.
Yep.
No.
So this conversation has not made me change my mind. Has not changed my mind to either not open up a retail store or anything like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys sitting down and tuning in with me and Edwin. These are the conversations that me and him have all the time, and this is the only difference. The only difference now is that we're recording it and sort of just forever having it on YouTube. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Speak to you guys on the next podcast, which is next Monday. If you guys want to see more of Edwin, just leave it down on the comments below. And I feel like I connect really, really well with him with any time we speak.
Yeah, it's good. Like it's sharing a lot of good info.
Yeah,
and
because
also, like, you know,
we clash heads all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
and
don't-
we're okay to clash, I think.
Yeah. And we're okay with it, and we get to an
We just fight.
understanding. Yeah, we get to an understanding. It's like
We just
yeah,
fight and
whatever. Fuck
hey,
it.
you want to have dinner?
Done. All right, thank you guys. I'll speak to you guys next time. Peace.